Deep analysis of the latest preview for the Unrivaled Tang Clan. Episode 169. Yan Shaoji and Feng Ling confirm their love at Shrek Sea. God Fate. Huo Yuhao dominates and defeats the twin phoenix Superduo.
这听起来有一段故事呀。
First of all, this scene is naturally about Dean Yan Shaoji recounting his past with Feng Ling. As the vice leader of the Holy Spirit, cult Feng Ling was indeed once Yan Shaoji's ex-girlfriend. The timeline of their relationship actually predates Yan Shaoji's relationship with Shan Liner. It could even be said that Feng Ling was Yan Shaoji's first love. And judging from the setting shown in the scene, it seems to be the Sea God Fate matchmaking event held in Shrek's inner courtyard. Some fans may think that the anime is simply adding unnecessary plot elements, but in fact in the original novel, Yan Shaoji really did become romantically involved with someone at the Sea God Fate event. It's just that I had always assumed that person was Dean Shan Liner. As for why Mu En agreed to let Feng Ling enter Shrek's inner courtyard, it was because Feng Ling had not yet awakened her evil phoenix martial soul at that time. Whether it was Yan Shaoji Mu En, or even Feng Ling herself, they all believed that the evil phoenix martial soul was merely a dark phoenix martial soul. After all, a dark martial soul was not considered an evil martial soul. Mu En's close friend Long Xiaoyao possessed the dark holy dragon martial soul, which also had a dark attribute. Therefore, Mu En was not actually opposed to martial souls with dark attributes. On top of that, Feng Ling's talent was indeed outstanding, so it was perfectly normal for her to pass the entrance examination and enter the inner courtyard.
我们之间爆发了一场大战。
This scene shows Feng Ling fully awakening her evil martial soul. Based on the timeline in the original novel, I estimate that this happened after Feng Ling had reached 7 soul rings and obtained her martial soul true body. However, the greater reason behind the awakening of her evil martial soul was actually the stimulation caused by the aura of Yan Shaojie's radiant phoenix. The cultivation method of Feng Ling's evil phoenix martial soul was to devour martial souls possessing phoenix. Bloodlines. Obviously, Yan Shaoji's radiant phoenix martial soul was one of the purest phoenix bloodline martial souls. However, due to the elemental suppression and the fundamental difference in combat strength, Feng Ling simply could not defeat Yan Shaoji, and Yan Shaoji really was blinded by love. When faced with his girlfriend who had become an evil soul master, he subdued her, but chose not to cripple her martial soul. Instead, he actually chose to let her go. You have to understand that the talent of the evil phoenix was one of the most powerful talents among evil soul masters. Letting Feng Ling go was essentially the same as releasing a future great menace. Who knows how many people would suffer because of her in the future? Yan Shaoji's actions practically threw all of Mu En's teachings out the window. Because of this, Mu En directly punished him by placing him under house arrest for 3 years. It is also worth mentioning that Feng Ling and Yan Shaoji are still related by blood even today. First of all, Yan Shaoji's father was the first son of Ye Xishui and Long Xiaoyao. In other words, Ye Xishui is actually Yan Shaoji's biological grandmother. Zhongli Wu was Ye Xishui's second son, while Feng Ling was Zhongli Wu's wife. So, putting it another way, Zhongli Wu was Yan Shaoji's second uncle, which means that Yan Shaoji would now have to address his former girlfriend Feng Ling as his second aunt.
感受毁灭的到来！
你没资格。灵儿，快避开！
大不了同归于尽。
This scene shows Huo Yuhao and Vice Leader Feng Ling engaging in a fierce battle. From the footage, it is not difficult to see that, besides his Ice Empress armor, Huo Yuhao has also brought out the dark gold Dreadclaw. But what is actually more important is the surrounding environment. This is none other than Huo Yuhao's composite super domain, Ultimate Ice Domain. This domain is not one of Huo Yuhao's soul skills. Instead, it is a combination of the Eternal Frozen Domain from the Ice Empress's torso, Soul Bone, and his second soul skill, Emperor's Chill. Within the domain, not only is the air filled with the extreme cold of ultimate ice, but Huo Yuhao can also completely conceal himself using the surrounding ice mist. Even a rank 97 Super Duo like Feng Ling would have absolutely no way of locating Huo Yuhao's true body. As for the finishing blow, of course it would be Huo Yuhao's auspicious beast soul skill Fate's Grief. Although Feng Ling makes it sound quite convincing here, saying that at worst they can simply perish together. This woman, Feng Ling, is actually extremely cunning. She is wearing a rank 9 spiritual defense soul tool around her neck.
我要你们的火凤圣女来换。
小桃姐，你没事吧？
杀了他！不能伤到小桃姐。
This scene marks the third round of the relay battle, with Saintess of the Fire Phoenix Ma Xiao Tao taking the stage. In fact, Huo Yuhao's goal was to exchange Vice Leader Feng Ling for Ma Xiao Tao. However, Zhang Liwu was unwilling to hand Ma Xiao Tao over. At the same time, he was unwilling to let his wife die either. So he simply had Ma Xiao Tao enter the battle. He promised that as long as Huo Yuhao spared Feng Ling, he could rely on his own strength to capture Ma Xiao Tao. At this point, Ma Xiao Tao was a genuine rank 95 Super Duluo. Her soul ring configuration was 2 yellow, 2 purple, 3 black, and 2 red. Her Evil Fire Phoenix martial soul had also completely mutated into the Dark Phoenix. The quality of her martial soul had even reached the level of Ultimate Fire. Moreover, Ma Xiao Tao had completely lost herself at this point, and there was simply no way to awaken her consciousness.
我的兵没有稳动。
As for the final scene, it shows Huo Yuhao getting completely overwhelmed by Ma Xiao Tao. Yes, you heard that, right? He is getting absolutely beaten down. Even though Ma Xiao Tao's overall strength is inferior to Feng Ling's, Huo Yuhao remains on the defensive throughout the battle. Aside from the elemental disadvantage, another reason is that Huo Yuho simply cannot bring himself to go all out against Ma Xiao Tao. After all, in the original novel, Huo Yuhao regarded Ma Xiao Tao as his biological older sister. Ma Xiao Tao's 100,000-year 9th soul skill is called Phoenix Nirvana. By sacrificing 1 month of weakness as the price, she can unleash a full-power attack comparable to that of an ultimate Duluo. As for Huo Yuhao's finishing move, the original novel never provided a detailed description. Judging from how the anime portrays it now, Huo Yuhao should have used the power of emotions. What do you guys think about this?